For my first Facebook Live of 2023. As always, my name is Stephen Perlin, and I am here today because it's a new year. And when we start a new year, a lot of us like to start eating better, eating healthier, and sometimes getting back to the gym. But one of the things with our New Year's resolutions is we say, oh, January 1st, January 2nd, we're ready to go. But are you? Are you prepared? Do you have the right fruits and veggies? Are you eating the right diet in general? And that's what we're going to kind of figure out here today. Joining me is UHS clinical dietitian Mary Sheeran, and she's going to give us some tips, some information, and she's going to basically open up your knowledge so that you're eating better and stronger in 2023. Thank you for joining us today, Mary. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me, Stephen. Today I put together some of my favorite foods that I think are easy to incorporate into your diet, especially if you're looking to ramp things up in the new year. They're also don't go over on the cost or anything, and provide an array of nutrition.
You're already speaking my language. Not overly expensive,
Mm-hmm.
Easy. That's a key word that I picked up on immediately, because sometimes we're all very busy. We don't have enough time to do those big food preps or meal preps and everything like that. So these are quick, easy, and like you said, not overly expensive, which is nice. Okay, so sorry, you can keep going.
No, that's okay. Yeah, and I think it's great that people choose food to incorporate into their New Year's resolutions. But my tip would be to kind of, like I said, keep it easy, keep it affordable, and things that you're willing to actually eat. Because sometimes people try to go overboard and pick things that they never worked with before, and then it all goes to waste in the end. So, like I said, here are my 4 favorite foods that I'll talk about a little bit here. So first we're going to start with a clementine. And a clementine is a citrus fruit that is a mix between a mandarin and a sweet orange. The peak season is from November to January, so you might notice that your grocery stores have a lot of inventory of clementines and oranges at this time. So now is the time to buy them for the cost and the taste.
Okay.
They are a rich source of antioxidants such as vitamin C that is beneficial to the immune system, as well as reducing inflammation. The best way to eat them, you can peel them, eat them as a snack. You can add them to your salad, add them to a fruit smoothie. They don't need to be refrigerated unless they're peeled, so it's a good travel snack.
They're taking up space in my fridge right now. That's good to know.
Yeah. And a way that I eat it, I typically prepare it the night before when I'm preparing my lunch for the next day, just to kind of make it easier, because they can get pretty sandy if you're peeling it. And then also it encourages me to eat it, because sometimes if I leave this in my bag, I'm more likely not to eat it unless it's prepared for me. So.
Well, because they can be a little bit annoying when you're
a little bit, yeah. But they are easier to peel than an orange, and also if you don't want like a large portion, they are smaller, so you have that choice.
Now, you chose clementine and you mentioned oranges. If you are more of an orange guy, you like that bigger fruit, does that make a difference? Or is it you would recommend the clementine over such?
No, both are going to offer the same amount of nutrition. It's just, different sizes, different kind of fruit. These tend to be best for like children too, to send with snacks, so it's kind of just whatever you prefer.
Yep, I definitely send that to my for a snack for my son, so yep, 100%. I know what you're talking about.
Good. So my next item here, I have mixed nuts, and this is a mixture of almonds, cashews, peanuts, and raisins. So any kind of nut combination is going to be packed with health benefits, but typically nuts are healthy source of good fats, fiber, and protein, all which help keep you full for longer.
Okay.
They are considered a heart-healthy snack, as they may help lower cholesterol levels and reduce inflammation in the body.
Well, it's important to know. I just found out I have high cholesterol recently, so I'm going to have more nuts in my diet coming up.
There you go. Also, it's best to choose unsalted or unsweetened variations, but they do come in an array of flavors, so you just want to check your food labels to kind of see what you're working with. You want to choose nuts that have at least 140 milligrams or less of sodium per serving to be considered a low salt snack.
Interesting. And it's funny that something so small, is actually so filling. I think that people kind of look at bigger foods thinking, oh, that's going to fill me up more, it's a bigger food, but not necessarily so.
Yep, that's right. And this is a serving, so this is 3 tablespoons or 1.5 ounces. Doesn't seem like a lot, and honestly, if I was going to bring this for my snack, I'd probably have a double serving size, and that's okay. But it's just a good reference range to see how many calories and protein are in a normal suggested serving. So you can kind of base it because they can easily turn into a high calorie snack if you're not paying attention.
Oh, that's good. So you got to read the labels and be safe about it. I was going to ask you about salt versus unsalted. I mean, you probably don't want to have much salt in this in general because that's less healthy, I would assume.
Yep, it's best to just choose the unsalted, unsweetened variations, but a little bit, some common variations that are, lightly salted, and that's okay too.
Okay.
So they can be either eaten whole as a snack, or you can sprinkle them on salads, or even your yogurt or oatmeal.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yep. And then next I chose a Greek yogurt. Greek yogurts are one of my favorites. They tend to be higher in protein compared to your non-Greek style yogurts. So again, helps keep you full for longer. They provide good nutrients for bone health.
Mm-hmm.
And then the most common benefit is its probiotic content, which helps supports or increase your healthy gut bacteria,
Mm-hmm.
and then may also help increase your immune system. Again, with the yogurts, you're going to want to watch out for the added sugar content
Mm-hmm.
in them. So again, check your food labels, compare, and try to choose options that have at least 10 grams of sugar or less per serving.
Okay.
This one here is my favorite. It's Chobani, and it has about 5 grams of added sugar per serving. So yogurt's going to naturally contain sugar in the sense of lactose, but you just want to watch out for the added sugar, and that will be on the food label when you
Okay.
check it out.
And if I'm correct, and I could be wrong here, but yogurt's also great because you can add it with some other, fruits or veggies, or well, not veggies maybe, but maybe even nuts, or so to speak,
Yep,
if you want
yep.
to combine or
Sure, yeah.
level up, I guess.
You can even add it to, in baking, you can even substitute it for butter or oil in some
Oh.
baking recipes. My favorite way to use it is substitute it instead of sour cream in dips.
Oh, okay.
So for instance, this Christmas, I had made a vegetable tray and I used the ranch packet that you
Mhm.
mix with sour cream, but instead of sour cream, I used plain Greek yogurt, and you could not tell the difference.
Oh, wow. So see, you're going to be eating healthier after this, and now you're going to be hosting healthier too as well, right?
That's right.
So you're getting everybody else is getting the benefits too.
Yeah, I challenge you to try it out with your family and see if they tell the difference. I promise they can.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a good thing to know.
Yeah.
Great.
And then lastly here I have some leafy greens. And this box contains kale, spinach, and Swiss chard. So leafy greens are a rich source of vitamins and minerals, including iron, calcium, vitamin K, vitamin C, and B vitamins. They also are a high source of antioxidants that may help reduce some cancer risks and also the incidence of cardiovascular disease. So, and these benefits can be seen with just adding 2 to 3 servings of green leafy greens to your diet per week.
Oh, wow.
And ways to add these to your diet include you can saute them in a pan with olive oil, you can add them to your omelet, you can top your sandwiches with them, or you can even add them to your smoothie. One important thing to mention is in order for our body to absorb the fat-soluble vitamins found in leafy greens, you would need to add some type of fat. So if you're eating a salad, it's important to add some type of olive oil or avocado oil, or when you're sauteing, add some olive oil, avocado oil, in order for your body to absorb those nutrients appropriately.
Oh, that's a good tip because I think for me personally, or the way if I'm doing something healthier, I have tried to avoid those type of things, thing that might add fat because you're like, oh, that's going to be counter, productive what I'm trying to do here, but it's actually important for what you're doing, it turns out.
Exactly, yep. For those fat-soluble vitamins, they do need some source of fat, so yep.
Okay, and I was going to ask you, but you already touched on this, like how do you incorporate something like kale? My whole life I feel like there's lettuce, you put lettuces in sandwiches and stuff like that, but kale can kind of do the same thing?
Kale can do the same thing, Swiss chard, spinach. Typically people would saute spinach for a side vegetable with their dinner, but that can be done with kale and Swiss chard. So recently I just did that for my dinner. You just some olive oil in a pan, let it shrivel up, and you just have like a nice sauteed side of greens.
Yeah, that's
and
great.
It's really easy because it's funny, the amount of greens that you put in the pan, you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is a big amount, and then they come down to such a small portion.
Okay, yeah, so it's actually manageable in the grand scheme of things. Oh, that's awesome. These are great tips. I know I'm going to start incorporating these in my everyday eating habits. The kale, I think I started recently. I have some spinach at home, and the oranges are always in my fridge, or the clementines rather. But is there anything else you want to get out there for people? Maybe steps on how to really get started with healthy eating? Anything else?
I think to try to keep it simple, and also give yourself credit for things that you are doing right, and don't get so upset when your diet falls through, because it's tough. Not everyone is perfect. I'm not perfect. My goal this year is to eat more fruit. This is why I brought this in today, because it's not only something I try to eat, but I'm trying to eat more of. So just know not everyone's perfect. Give yourself credit and stay positive.
I think that's great advice, because I think we all get frustrated. I think you hear a lot of New Year's resolutions ending within the first month or two because it's not going the way they wanted to. They're not seeing the results they want to. But I think it's also about, you're finding what's good for you, like you said, what your balance, what you could actually stomach. Because I think if you're trying to force feed yourself all this healthy stuff that you don't like, you're not going to get very far.
No. And you're going to waste a lot of money trying to buy all different kinds of ingredients that you're never going to use again. And why not just try to find things that you really do enjoy and kind of eat them differently, or find new recipes for those things.
Yeah, and you got to experiment a little bit. That's a part of life. You got to figure out what you like. And now you have 4 new things that you can incorporate in every single meal, or not every single meal. You might get a little sick of it if you do it too much.
Yeah.
But thank you, everybody, for joining us at home. We appreciate it. You can head to nyuhs.org for more information on nutrition services. And thank you once again for tuning in, and enjoy eating healthy. We'll see you soon.